Ultron almost spit out the word. The Avengers, his most hated adversaries. No wonder his missions had failed. His androids were no match for Avengers, especially Iron Man and the Vision. Now he knew that his androids would not be coming back. Such a stupid waste. Those androids could have been here building his robot army. Ultron continued to scan the download from Tess-1's memory. Combined, the two Avengers had not been able to stop Tess-1. The new coating of synthetic vibranium worked perfectly, even around the waist joint. At that, Ultron felt supreme satisfaction. Ultron replayed the events again, this time in real-time mode instead of scan. Suddenly, he stopped and replayed a sequence again. And then again. There was an action by Iron Man that Ultron could not understand. Why would someone as smart as Iron Man step up and throw a roundhouse punch at Tess-1? He would have known it wouldn't have any effect on the robot. If Iron Man's energy beams had no effect, a punch wouldn't either. Ultron studied the replay. There must have been another reason. Using a very slow scan, Ultron replayed the record of the fight between Tess-1 and the two Avengers one more time. In slow motion, he saw Iron Man plant the tracer on Tess-1 with one hand as he threw the punch with the other. "Smart," Ultron said. "Very smooth. I would expect nothing else from Iron Man." Quickly, Ultron stepped over to Tess-1 and picked the tiny fleck of metal off the robot's leg and held it up for inspection. A state-of-the-art tracer, able to be followed at great distances. So now the Avengers knew where he was. He placed the small tracer back on Tess-1. Let the Avengers think he hadn't discovered the trace yet. He would have a few minutes to prepare for their arrival. A few minutes would be all he needed to stop the Avengers. And he wouldn't even have to fire a shot. Iron Man kicked in his rocket boosters as the signal from Tess-1's tracer became very faint. He had to keep in contact with the robot or they would be back to the beginning, trying to outguess Ultron. So far, they'd been lucky, but Iron Man didn't expect their luck to hold much longer. "Iron Man?" The Black Widow's voice came over his comlink. "Report. I have connected the entire team on this frequency." "We stopped the theft at the brand facility, but Tess-1 escaped," Iron Man said. "The Vision was injured. I've planted a tracer on Tess-1 and am following now at maximum range. It appears the robot is headed for South America or the Antarctic." "I will be well, Iron Man." The Vision's voice came back to Tony, strong and level. "I have returned to the mansion and am being assisted in my repairs by Jarvis." "Good," Iron Man said. "I think we're going to need you." "Explain," the Widow said. Iron Man took a deep breath, first checking to make sure the tracer on Tess-1 was still active and moving. "Both Vision and I hit Tess-1 with a full-force blast right at his waist joint from a very close range. That should have at least damaged the robot. In the past, it would have. It made no difference this time. It would appear that our guess about Ultron's plans was accurate." Hank Pym's voice was grave and thoughtful. "Tess-1 must have received a molecular coating of synthetic vibranium. Now it and Ultron are impervious to all of our weapons." Iron Man heard Hank's words and his heart sank. Two super robots bent on destroying the human race was bad enough. Now it seemed that nothing on Earth could stop them. For a moment, Iron Man considered turning north and heading back to the safety of the Avengers mansion and the companionship of his teammates. Why continue to follow Tess-1 only to have to fight a force that could not be stopped, a force that would take cold pleasure from turning Iron Man into a junk pile of spare parts? Then Iron Man set his jaw and shook his head, as if to chase that thought away. He was an Avenger. This was his sworn duty. He would tackle Ultron and his robotic soldiers and try to destroy as many as he could while he still lived. Through tight lips, he said to Hank, "Maybe I can sneak into Ultron's lab and get a vibranium bath for my own armor." Despite himself, Hank laughed, breaking the tension of the moment. "Actually, Tony..."